Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. Right, so this listener says, I got a new job, and this time I'm going to keep my old boy in my pants and not let the smaller head lead me astray. I don't think we have to go back to find out what happened to him. And I do really hate my new boss, though. He's a total and utter piece of shit. I know he is overcharging people for the work we do, and he is telling them that he's putting in materials that he's not using, like insulation, etc. He pays me cash in hand. Yeah, it must be, yeah. He pays me cash in hand, so I don't have to worry about tax too much. But he takes us out for long days and doesn't pay us every week if he's running low on cash. I'm looking for something more legit, but it's easy money while I'm going through school. Do you think I'm being taken for a ride? My friends and family seem to think that way. I think you are. Working all day and then the guy's not even going to pay you on time.
I guess it's more of the specifics, because if he's like, oh, he pays me the rate I agreed to, but sometimes it's a couple days late. I don't know if that's a big deal. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. But yeah, I mean, do you want to work for this guy that lies to people? And if he's lying to those people, is he lying to you in some way?
Mm-hmm.
I would reevaluate the situation and kind of look at everything. But I will say, if it's temporary and you're like, if it for whatever reason, if it's comfortable for you and if it works for you for now, maybe ride it out for that short amount of time, because it sounds like he's doing it temporarily.
Yeah.
But I'd say when you get out of there, let the people know that are working there. They're like, I don't think this guy is really. You don't have to like outright be like, let me provide you the paperwork. But you could say to them like, hey, listen, I think this guy is not giving you the best value for your money in this service, and maybe you should go with somebody else. I just left the company because I feel like he doesn't have super honest business practices.
Yeah, he's not genuine.
I think most people in the UK now use like websites that check up on, because we have a great show called Cowboy Builders.
Yeah,
and they basically they have an actual builder, like a construction, whatever he is, a plumber, whatever, and they have the host, and they sit up in the attic with a camera hidden around the house, and they get the guy in, and they watch him, and they're like, and the professional's like, nah, that's like 50 quid, like a 10-minute job, and he'll go down to this old woman and be like, oh, I'm gonna have to take all that pipe out. I'll probably be like 2 days. It's gonna be a lot, and he just goes up in the bathroom and sits there.
He did a show where he was basically like busting contractors that were fucking people over.
Yeah.
What was it called? I love shows like that.
Isn't it? It's a common thing.
Yeah,
that's my bread and butter. I watch that all day long.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had scammer videos.
Yeah,
there's a guy, I think his Mike is like Mike Ropler, Mike something like that, Mark Ropler, and he makes those boxes that he puts on porches for porch pirates. Have you seen that?
We've mentioned it to the listeners because they've had like packages stolen, and we're like, there's a guy that will make them. Yes, I love it.
They throw the glitter everywhere, and they push out like a fart spray, and like they have like a police siren. Oh, it's so funny.
I love the videos of people that like leave bikes that have got like a long chain on it. And the guy will get on and pedal really, really quickly and then just fly on the front of it.
Flies off of it, yeah.
There's one, and I think this is really illegal. I don't know how people are getting away with doing this. They would have an empty box truck, like, like a big delivery truck, and they'd put some boxes way in the back. And what they do, it's fucking crazy. They would grease the floor. They would put like all stuff all over the floor, and when the person goes in to steal it, they close the thing and they drive around the box truck, and the person's like sliding in the back and stuff like that. But I'm like, that's guaranteed kidnapping. Guaranteed.
They watch
so I don't know.
That's where they got that from.
I mean, it's funny because
what was it? Box truck dirt? No, box truck.
Yeah.
They had like roller skates. On. That was it. Yeah, the disco.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I do love watching it, but there's no way they're in the clear legally or morally.
It's like a legal gray area.
Yeah. I think it's black and white, honestly.
Yeah. I forgot what the question was. Oh, yeah.
Dodgy builder.
I worked.
I love that. That's great.
My first job ever I was selling fucking windows to people, like going door to door selling windows. And I remember I did like 40 hours. I was smoking a lot of weed back then as well. I did it, so I was like high as a kite, and I just did 40 hours that week for them. And I come up to get my paycheck, and they gave me 20 quid for the 40 hours work, because I didn't make any commission, and I didn't realise it was called commission based. And then I just literally took the 20 quid, walked down the stairs, never walked back into that fucking place. And I think that's what this geezer needs to do.
Yeah. Oh man, that's right. I forgot the. I want to bring Geezer to the U.S. That's fucking awesome. It's so actually. Let me bring this up. I'm going to sound really ignorant, but it's, whatever. There was some rapper from the UK, and I remember one of the things he said was "The Life of the Geezer," and it was like a big single. Like this is like 20 years ago. Do you remember this guy at all?
Life is a geezer.
Life of a Geezer. He was like, it was really interesting. I've never been able to find this guy again, but I remember that first song I really enjoyed, and someone turned me on to him, and he was like, it was kind of, it wasn't a super mainstream thing, and so I think I didn't look for it till way later, and at that point in time, I wasn't able to find this guy, but I didn't know if maybe you guys knew who it was. But
Day in the life of a geezer.
Day in the life of a geezer.
Maybe that's what it is. Who's the artist?
Well, that came out in 2017.
The Streets.
Material. That's right.
Yeah,
I do remember. That's what it is.
The Streets.
Yeah.
The Streets. Fuck yeah. I'm writing this down because I was like,
yeah, they just put out a new album.
I saw them last week or the week before.
Yeah, they're really good. The Streets.
Like, hey, you ever heard of this? You're like, yeah, I was at their concert yesterday. Yeah. That's hilarious. It's funny because I was like, oh, I'm being so ignorant by saying, oh, I'm talking to two guys from England, so I'm going to ask about this. I'm like, I'm sure they haven't heard of it. And you're like, I was there yesterday.
It's nothing in it. Yeah, their new album's pretty good.
Oh, that's great. I'll have to check it out.
They are good, yeah. They're all right.
Their first album's the best one.
That's probably the one that had that on it, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I think like if you're young and it's like cash in hand, then there's no problem. I mean, yeah, as long as he's not doing massive scams that you're involved in, a bit of odd, like, he hasn't put in some insulation is a bit of like, all right, that is a bit.
Always shithousery going on. So I think you've got to kind of roll with the punches. If you are feeling uncomfortable, like Chuck said, then step away.
Right.
But
I think if you're going to continue in the same line of work, I would get away from it, because if you're noticed with him and he comes out as a cowboy builder, then you're going to be known as someone that worked for him. So I would be like, oh, okay, I don't want to be around this. But yeah, if it's like a temporary sort of thing, just take the cash, man. Fuck the tax, man. Yeah, I'll be fucking posting and doing
Google review, innit?
Just follow him in a car, and every time he gets out, be like, no.